Hello and welcome to the Come Alive podcast. I'm your host, Mirchandani. I'm a mother with a story, a business leader with a vision, and an author whose work focuses on transforming lives and relationships through a better understanding of self-love. Today's episode is titled Expectations. My friends on YouTube, please excuse me for the glasses. I have to protect my eyes from the light because there's some eye issue. Let me start with the basics. What are expectations? To define this as per Collins Dictionary, a person's expectations are strong beliefs they have about the proper way someone should behave or something should happen. In other words, assuming the outcome of your life in the way you have imagined. The question I would like to address and reflect upon today is, do your expectations weigh you down? Let me share my perspective and understanding of how my expectations weighed me down. Growing up, many of us are taught to believe that love is a process required to complete us. Specifically, when we love another and they love us back as per our expectations, we are told that we then become whole. In terms of lifelong romance, this is considered living the dream. The problem with this belief is that it suggests we are complete when in love and therefore incomplete when not in love. It implies that by not having a partner that meets your expectations, you are inadequate. On today's episode, I have only one goal: for you to unlearn that social norm. By the way, it's okay to feel something is missing in your life. We've all been there. But start with you. Are you showing up for yourself and accepting yourself as all you need to feel true happiness? I find that repeating the following mantra can help. There is nothing missing in my life except me. I am all I need to be truly happy. Let me tell you about when I was in your position, feeling incomplete, because I want you to know that I've experienced this and the pain it can cause. I had everything I could dream of, but I was not accepting and loving myself for who I was, because I was expecting it from my spouse, and hence I could not feel the love I was receiving from the universe. My expectations from life and my partner were created by the beliefs of a Disney movie that I was unable to dissolve. Everything in my life after my wedding was not what I had expected, and hence at 35 I felt my life was over. I was predicting my future based on my past. The 12 years of my life from age 23 to 35 were extremely challenging. From relationships to my business and to myself, nothing was as per my expectations, and as each expectation was not met, I fell lower in my confidence about the life I was living and the chance of having the future I dreamed of. I was at my lowest point. Even on a superficially good day, life just seemed unfair. I felt like a victim, and it was a label I held on to instead of addressing my relationship with myself. So here is the big question that led me to record this podcast for you. Why did I let my expectations shatter me? As a child, I was loved beyond measure and protected from the harsh range of emotions that form a true human experience. My parents literally called me princess all my life and furthermore treated me like one. Upon reflection, this was the point my expectations were formed. It happened right in front of my eyes, and yet I was still blind to it. Now is a good time to be super clear about something. I'm in no way blaming my parents for this situation. As a parent today, I find myself exploding with love for my own children and have moments when I spoil them instead of holding back. But I know that this is not sustainable amongst all people towards each other. Otherwise, we'd all be living in a utopia that's not too different to the Disney movie I described. So I took my expectations as a princess crowned only in my parents' little castle to the castle I entered when I married my prince. From day one, I placed these expectations on him. He was unaware of what I expected, and worse still, I was unaware that I was expecting it. As you have probably guessed, the scenes that follow were too dark for any Disney movie. Looking back at my childhood, the expectation that I am a princess and should be treated as such found a permanent place in my belief system because it had found its way into my subconscious mind. It got there because it had access through the people I loved the most, my parents. And it couldn't leave because I had no reason to let it go. And because the subconscious mind is so powerful, the idea of Meher is a princess lived happily in my brain rent-free for 23 years. The day I got married, the eviction process began. And naturally, the expectation did not want to leave. This is the whole reason why I'm sharing the story today on the Come Alive podcast, because getting rid of an expectation is hard work. So let's answer the question, how can you extract and eliminate an expectation? Ironically, you cannot force an expectation out of your subconscious mind. You have to lean into it and work towards it leaving voluntarily. The first step is identifying it and acknowledging it without judgment. Whatever pain this expectation has brought you has to be left in the past. You have to forgive the previous impacts of your expectation and know that moving forward, you will have to work with this expectation to remove it. Only then can you prevent it from sabotaging the future you deserve, even if that is a different future to the one your expectation sold you. To do this, your expectation needs to know your intention. This mantra may help. I love, live, and give with no expectations from another. Mantras, inner thoughts, and self-talk are one of the most effective ways of reprogramming your beliefs and diluting toxic expectations. However, they are not a shortcut for the work you need to do because it needs to be repeated daily with top-ups every time you need to hear them. Remember, there's no such things as mantras that are only spoken once. That's a spell, and this is not a Harry Potter movie. So get ready to do the work. Whilst we are being really practical, let me also suggest 5 ways I help my clients reprogram and transform their beliefs. We went into more detail on each of these in episode 2, but I'll cover them again here at a high level because they really help. 1. Guided meditation. This can be guided meditation from YouTube or the Vishen Lakhiani meditation I mentioned in the second podcast. You'll find a link in the video description and podcast show notes. 2. Repetition and practice. Prepare your positive thoughts and actions for use every day. Make sure you complete them because it will guide you to a happier version of yourself. 3. Journaling to experience gratitude and forgiveness. You can start by downloading the free 90-day journaling challenge from my website or refer to the journal in my book, Come Alive, Don't Just Exist. 4. Learning and reading. I really believe in this. Reading a well-recognized self-development book for even 5 minutes a day can shift your energy and perspective. 5. Affirmations and Manifestations. Being there for yourself with positive affirmations and being aware of when they present themselves in your life matters and causes an upward spiral in your life. Ask the universe for what you want and keep your eyes open for when it arrives. Realizing that we all carry expectations and knowing which ones are not serving us can be transformational. As you free yourself of negative ones, you can soar higher. In the future podcasts, we'll talk about prioritization and creating space for yourself. As someone with a large family and a multifaceted organization, I still practice and optimize this every single day because it's the only route to the life I desire. And so, like you, I do the work. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Come Alive podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Hit the follow button on Spotify and share the podcast with anyone who needs to hear it. If you are watching the visual podcast on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell, as well as leave us a like and a comment. I look forward to us talking again on the next episode. Thank you and lots of love.